There's a pastor named Greg Arthur. He talks about this unprecedented time in history, a period of 200 years of peace called Pax Romana, which means Roman peace, from the years 27 to 180 BCE. The Roman Empire united all these lands and nations that they conquered, and then they built roads connecting them all. So they basically forced people to trade with each other and live with one another across all their differences of cultures, religions, and ethnicities. If you didn't want to live under the Roman Empire, you were killed. So it was an enforced peace. On the outside, it looked peaceful, but only because everyone obeyed out of fear of being killed. No one was allowed to be different or have new thoughts or new ideas about how they wanted to be governed. So that's Pax Romana. And can you think of other communities that feel that way to you? Like at your job or your former job, where everyone says that they all like working for this company, or at your country club where all the neighbors pretend that they like each other, or even at a mega church where everyone pretends that they're Christian, but in reality, there's no diversity or women leaders. The leaders of these communities think that they're doing the right thing. Their attitude is, look, everyone is getting along. There's not a single war, or there's small conflicts, but there's no big major war during Pax Romana. Our employees say they like working for our company. Our country club was featured in a luxury lifestyle magazine. Our mega church is growing in numbers. Everything looks right, but doesn't feel right. It looks like you have a community, but it doesn't feel like you have a community. And then on the flip side, Jesus has hundreds of disciples and followers who are meeting in secret. And because they don't meet in public, it looks like they don't have a community. But in reality, they're so connected that it feels like they do. Jesus is born and raised and preaches in the middle of Pax Romana. He starts his ministry smack dab in the middle of this empire that looks peaceful, but it doesn't feel peaceful. Jesus calls the religious leaders of the Pharisees whitewashed tombs. And these are buildings that are exquisite. They're beautiful on the outside, but inside they're full of dead bodies. And Jesus is saying, none of these communities are going to help you become a high vibrational being. They look alive on the outside, but inside they feel dead. There's no feeling of community. Why not? Because these communities are Pax Romana. They look super cute with all their branding and their marketing, but they're not the real deal. Well, now he's got people's attention. They're saying, what now, Jesus, man? I mean, people are asking him, who are you to say these things? And what, pray tell, is the real deal? You just threw out a really big accusation that these communities are not the real deal. Prove it. And this is when Jesus introduces a revolutionary new concept of what it means to be a Messiah and to be a Savior, which all of us here at Hale Ho'onani, we're building our church upon this principle. It's also going to answer Michelle's question, which is, and she asked, all of us here at our church are therapists, coaches, ministers, caretakers. What if we can't save people we love? They insist on remaining broken. So how can I have peace when I'm not fulfilling my role as their helper or their healer? Jesus is teaching people a radically new way of saving others. Jesus says, be like me. Then he models something which is pretty much the opposite of what people think he's supposed to be. For generations, people were expecting a savior, a rock star, sparkles coming out of his teeth, big crown on his head, miracles, money, political force. But Jesus arrives as a still small voice. He says, I'm not a rock star. Actually, I'm you. And when Jesus says, be like me, he means that he's everyone. You too are everyone. You are the enemy. You are the ally. You are rich. You are poor. You're the leader. You're the follower. You're beautiful. You're ugly. You're old. You're young. You are sick. You are healthy. You are man. You are woman. You are non-binary. You are conservative. You are liberal. You are everyone. God is humanity. God is always becoming. God is always in the process of becoming who you are becoming. That's what community feels like. It feels like a place where you're always becoming God. In other words, you're flourishing. It doesn't matter if our church only has 12 people or 12 disciples. We don't have to be 200 members. It matters if the 12 of us who do show up are flourishing. That's community. Community is a place where we gather together to flourish. It's a magical place where you do things that you can't do out there in the world where you'll get attacked or killed for doing it. You can plant new seeds and watch them grow. You can experiment, you can try on different hats until you find one that fits. This is our space. We get to choose who we are becoming. Jesus says never give that up. Like no matter how big our community grows, how many programs we offer, how many admin staff we're going to need to stay organized, we will always be a place where we get to choose who we're becoming. So we won't get stale, we won't get stuck in the weeds. We'll stay fresh, we'll stay alive, we'll stay childlike, and curious, and playful. Community is a place that helps you be more alive. Go ahead and write that in your journal. Community is a place that helps me be more alive.